introduce my second guest. I love her. She's dynamic, man, and she's on point. Everything, man. And she's the breed. Let me wait till she gets here. She'll tell you her story herself. Put your hands together. Show some love for Lydia Forson. Wakanda forever. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's good to be here.
I'm glad you're here. And this gentleman, by the way, he said it's a free. You're an audience, eh?
Yes, I was listening. I was like, are you sure? You are
so we can talk.
How do you know? It depends on what day I'm having, you know, how I woke up in the morning. But we'll see. You do have a lot of money, or it's not coming yet. Give me the year it's coming.
I think the new gold, though, so don't worry.
Has the gold here?
It's here.
Okay, and then we can have a conversation.
Okay. How have you been doing?
I've been good.
It's been a while.
It has. I've been hiding from interviews, but you know, every time it's you, I know that I'm in safe.
Yeah, I was like, let her come, bring her here. I haven't heard from you in a while. You've been hiding deliberately?
Well, I just, you know, chose to focus more on work. You get to a point where you're just exhausted. Not really. I wouldn't say the word is hiding. I am very careful about who I give my time to. I think it's called maturity. Who knew? I grew up. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. But I've been very busy this year too.
Yeah. And you've been very active on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of things have.
But this year I've kind of toned it down. You know, I think again you get to a point where I had this very interesting conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. I said, you know what? I can't say that I started a revolution or anything, but many years ago, people were not very bold with their, you know, opinions. People would keep their opinions to themselves. But now I go on social media, and before I've even said it, people have. So I mean, what do they need me for? I just sit back and I'm like, oh, let me like that. I do that to you. So, oh, he said it. Let me retweet it. So I'm taking a back seat and letting other people, you know, have a voice.
What is the most wahala that you put out on social media that you got there was an interesting fallout?
It's a lot, but I've come to realize that, you know, when it comes to especially religion and politics, there are two things when you speak on, even in the most positive way, you get a lot of backlash because people are the fanaticism. It's just. It shocks me because I grew up in a mission house. My father's a reverend, you know, my father. So I'm not used to that. But I notice every time I write about religion or politics, you are not even allowed to have an opinion. You know, and automatically you're an atheist. You know, if you have a problem, even with one religious person, not even a religious leader, you cannot have an opinion. So it's very interesting.
Why do you think is that? And it's very, very true, you know. It's very, very true because sometimes I throw things out there, you know. I can even make like a very funny joke on religion, and people come with really big time serious arguments, ecclesiastics and Romans, and go and read. So relax, man.
And then this is the funny part. When they come for you, I always say that when you go on people's profile, the people who insult me the most have God is good. I love Jesus. Jesus is the only way. But then how do you disagree with me by swimming in the same gutter I'm supposed to be swimming in? But I think it's conditioning. You again, as I mature, I realize that I shouldn't even be too angry at people when you've been brought up a certain way and it's the only way you've ever known. You've grown up seeing adults who don't practice what they preach. They just tell you what you should do. So automatically someone says anything, your immediate response, you will burn in hell. And then you sit down and have a conversation with this person, you realize he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's only reiterating what he has heard. So conditioning plays a huge role in it.
And because I had a chat with him before coming in, and you had talked about, when I told you she was coming in, you said you love her blogs. And
I do. I mean, her blog was one of the few websites I would go and read every day. So I think it is good people become opinionated because some of us enjoy it. And I think Ghanaians will enjoy it as well.
Yeah, they will enjoy behind closed doors.
I think Ghanaians
But again, I didn't set out to be, people who know me are never surprised by anything I have to say. I don't take myself too seriously. In fact, I'm so chilled. And what I write is how I would talk to the next person. Whenever I'm the kind of person, when I write about even a killer, I want to go into your mind and understand, you know, where you're coming from. It doesn't mean I agree with it.
But you want to understand.
I need to understand where you're coming from. So they're just, you know, my opinions.
There's an old series that long before any of you were born. It's called Columbo.
Okay, I take that back.
Okay, you're back there. Columbo was a detective, you know. And the amazing thing about Columbo, I'll send you some visuals on Columbo. Is that he will get into the head of the criminal.
Yes,
you see, hugging out, having fun, but slowly unraveling. And it was amazing.
I love crime TV. I love Law and Order, Criminal Intent.
Do you know I was in Law and Order before you were born? Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, 1990.
It's one of the best shows on television.
Yes, I was in Law and Order in 96.
Really?
I played the role of Joseph Amoda. Yes.
But you know, a lot of great entertainers, I've been studying it, a lot of great entertainers started on Law and Order.
Really? Yeah.
A lot of big stars started on Law and Order. Wow, you should sign, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll send you a clip, you know, of me doing Law and Order.
You doing your thing?
But you know, we know you for the acting.
Yeah.
You know, then the writing. You know, how is the film industry? How is acting? How is?
You know, everybody asks. You know, there's no news that the industry has gone through a struggle. Yeah. And if you've studied other industry, it goes through like years ago. I think about 4 years ago, series became the new thing in Hollywood. Halle Berry, all these big stars were now going to series. And nobody was saying the industry was dying. It's entertainment. When the audience wants something, you give it to them. So it goes through different phases. Whoever thought reality show would be a big thing? But some of the richest people are reality TV show stars. So it goes through its process. But I always assess any industry by how well I am doing. You know, once upon a time when the industry was booming, nobody was calling me. I was broke. I wasn't getting no jobs.
So calling you now?
I mean, I've been very busy. So I'm grateful for that. So I don't necessarily measure everybody by my own standards. I can say it's okay for me, but the industry is going through a phase where now the audience has become sophisticated. You know, you can't just put out something and think they'll go out and watch. Now they're like, who did it? The acting crowd was no good. The script, they are asking really important questions.
Really? That's true?
It's true.
Majority of the people are now being more critical?
See, back then, you can just put out anything. They were there to see popular faces, who's beautiful, fashion and all of that. And it doesn't mean people don't want to see that, but the audience is getting sophisticated and not necessarily the educated ones.
Is that being reflected though in the kind of content that's being put out? The example I'm thinking of right now is television stations. There are millions of stations now, you know, you know, and yet, for me, the quality of content has even come down.
Exactly.
I thought because of the stations were coming, there were going to be competition and content was going to rule.
So it's up to us to listen to the audience. Because yes, there are television stations.
But the audience settle for everything.
You see, yes, there are television stations. Yes, there's a lot of content. But you can't compare content now to maybe Things We Do for Love, where it took the whole nation, you know, by storm. A lot falls on us. You have to listen to the audience. As a writer, whenever I'm putting down anything, or whenever I'm, you know, when every movie I've done for maybe the past 3 years, before I say yes to a project, I'm reading it. I'm trying to understand it. I need to make sure that this is something I'm going to be proud of. So a lot also falls on us. We have the power to also manipulate the audience in a way, but people are not waking up from that. So yes, there are a lot of television stations, but compared to maybe 10 years ago, I mean, you're a comedian, and I'm glad that, you know, comedy has picked up now. But sometimes you can't compare the quality to yours. We have to listen to the audience and then give them, you know.
My problem is, and I could be wrong, is that the audience that we are listening to they really don't ask much. So you can throw anything out there and they're cool. Unless I'm completely wrong.
You're coming from. Yes, there's been some stuff on TV that I'm like,
really? Yeah, you know.
Really, what is? But then most of them are foreign as well.
Yeah.
How many of these? Yes, you see, we
social media. I mean, anybody does a video, put it there, and then the audience fall for it. So social media is also gradually infiltrating.
We can't keep doing things the same way and expect different results. It doesn't work, you know, that way. We have to put in a lot more work. So even if it's not in content, it's in how we even market to these people. And he was right about social media. You wake up one day and someone is a celebrity of social media. And I'm not offended by that, because I'm like, times are changing. You can't knock someone's hustle. Does it annoy me sometimes? Yes, because I'm like, Charlie, the way I hustled to even get people to like me, but it is changing.
It is.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Me too. I post a couple of pictures.
A typical case is Ekwapim, what's the name?
Ekwapim, I love her.
I love her. What's the name?
I love her.
Ekwapim Polo.
Ekwapim,
you know,
I think I have her. You know, I'm like, where did she come from? Look, all of a sudden, she is it.
I worked with her on set, and I said this about her. I was in a room and we were talking about her. Oh, but Lydia, you should. I said, look, this girl's living her life. We are entertained by the life she's living.
Exactly.
She has not come to say, watch me. If you want to make something, if you don't want to make something popular, you don't pay attention to it.
That's right.
If I don't like you, I will not follow you.
That's right.
I will not comment. But if you share the videos,
yes,
she makes you laugh. And then you're angry that she's popular.
Now people cry, oh my, we have suffered in the street. I said, well, that's the world now.
You give people what they want. It's the reality of our times, and I'm very careful about it, because once upon a time black people were not in. In fact, once upon a time I was too dark for TV.
Yeah. So
if people want that, fine, but will it last? That's another question. So it's show business. Our job is to educate and entertain, and if you make someone laugh, that's good enough for me.
And it's amazing the power it has, just making people laugh, you know.
Yes. We are depressed. We want to laugh. There's no money. We want to laugh. You know? You see, when you have plenty money, that's when your taste can be sophisticated. You can be watching Inception and, you know, trying to analyze critically. Yeah. But when you are broke, you want to laugh.
So, IT man, what app can you develop I don't know, a comedy app that does something like?
I think that, I mean, Lydia and the rest in the industry should be looking at using IT to help their industry, because we've seen, I mean, people don't know. Take just a year ago, there was a statement by Google. I mean, 1 million view on YouTube or 1 million subscribers could make you $1 million. You get it? Aside YouTube, there are lots of streaming platforms, and I think that, I mean, Netflix is doing well. We don't have to always be dependent on them. I mean, I'm available. We can build
down to you people.
We can build a streaming platform for their content, and then, I mean, aggregate subscribers, and based on those subscribers we can make money off advertising. I mean, there are different business models that we can be able to.
That's 1000%. I mean, when I started my blog, for instance, I was not thinking necessarily just about, there was a point where I used to write on Facebook and people would carry it and put it on their website, and I said, they're making money and I'm not. So I'm going to run my own blog and drive my own traffic. You know, at a point I had a YouTube channel and all of these things, and it's 100% right, but sometimes these things are hard in an industry that's underfunded. You know, Netflix is making a lot of money. A lot of streaming apps have tried in Ghana, but they don't necessarily pick up because of funding. Because nobody's going to put their movie on a platform that they're not going to make, you know. And then internet, how many average people, and I'm glad I brought this up, people will say, I haven't seen you in a movie in a long time. And I used to be offended by that, but I realized that no, we have moved from the DVD era, where a movie I would do would be easily accessible to someone in Bogatanga. Now we are putting our movies on flights, online. How many Ghanaians have access to the internet? And this is where the government needs to come in. When people have access to internet, they have access to a whole lot more. So it's very good, but it's a collaborative effort.
Talking about access, because I know, you know, sometimes I put stuff on the YouTube, and I realize that the Ghanaians in the UK and the US, Switzerland, you know, they really, really, you know. But in Ghana, I realized, tell me data, you know.
And I make Ghana with some bandola. I'm like,
yeah.
Someone said, well, did you watch my cousin sent me this video? It was 1 hour long. I'm like, hey. How am I going to watch this for 1 hour? So you go to America, you go to London. I'm walking the streets of London and I have so many fans and people go, I love this. But then the Ghanaian does not have access.
They don't have that,
and you're living here, you know.
So IT man, I don't know anything. I mean, what that's a government policy issue.
I think it's a matter of time. I mean, right now we're running on 4G, LTE. I mean, we are gradually developing. We can't really compare ourselves to the London America she's talking about, and that is when time plays a role. However, for instance, you can record a 30-minute shot, right? For
30 minutes, that's long.
I mean, 1 minute, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of people do those short videos on Facebook and the rest, and you won't believe how much they've made of it. So if you are a traditional person shooting 2 hours or 1 hour 30 minutes movie, you should understand that the new media has a different dynamic.
5 minutes to
5 minutes exactly, and play along it. Because even if the video is 1 hour or 5 minutes, it's still about
60 seconds on Instagram.
I mean, it's still about the advertisement and the subscribers. So you have to play according to these dynamics. You are not in the States. So with time, it will happen. With time, internet will be accessible. But the cost, it won't be something that's easy. I mean, the government has a lot of other issues to deal with. I became a programmer because of internet.
Has lots of issues, doesn't it?
Tell me about it.
I learned programming using the internet. So it means I had to spend a lot of sleepless nights in the cafe. I actually learned in the cafe, paying 50 pesos and 1 cedi. If I were to be somewhere else, I'm sure I could just walk into
Rwanda, you won't have this problem.
Yes, but with time, Ghana is
way ahead.
Sorry, we keep saying time. We've been marking time for a minute now. If we want it, we will get it. Because, you know, the genocide happened in Rwanda 20 years ago. We've had independence for 50 years. We still, it's about making a choice that this is, because, you know, hearing you, I did information studies in university. I didn't even have a computer. Hearing this, imagine how many people like you. I mean, you're just 24 or 23.
24 now.
And that's amazing what he's doing. But imagine he was in a country with the right resources. So government needs to recognize that. I think, not to veer off topic, but I think the problem we have had with leaders is when they come in, they have no clue what they want to do. If it's agriculture, dedicate all your time to it. Do your 4 years, 8 years, go. You can't do it all. So if it's IT, make a committed effort that this is what we want to achieve in 4, 8 years. But we come and then someone wants to do fufu, someone wants to do this, someone wants to do, and then we just build churches and then, you know. But I do believe that God is good and He's gonna change this country.
Show it to love, man. I've never come across a Lydia boy knew anything. Has there been any story about who you are dating?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Because
we don't know, because you are not.
Because, you know, I study people who have come before me. I always say that you can't make all the mistakes in the world and learn from it. So you learn from other people's mistakes. And I keep a very, you know, low profile about who I date, because I've worked too hard to get my image up there, to let some Sansani come and destroy it. So that the minute I do show my boyfriend, it has to be someone who is absolutely worth it. So that if it doesn't work, at least I walk away with my head up high. It's unfortunate, but that's, you know, I've always been a private person, regardless of television. I've always been a very private person about my relationships. To me, are still sacred. I don't feel the need to. So yeah, people will bash me. People will say, oh, sometimes people say stuff about me. I'm like, people don't know anything about my life. But
what is the biggest misconception about you?
I think when it comes to speaking on gender issues, there's an assumption that the minute you speak out on rape, equality, I think the word equality, people automatically means you want to be a man. You know, every time you speak on equality, there's an assumption that you hate men. It used to bother me, but now it doesn't, because I'm like, it has never stopped people from asking for my number. So, if you think I hate men, maybe it's your problem.
That's your problem.
Another man doesn't.
I'm convinced he's not a free agent.
You're convinced there.
But the coded messages don't ruin my market.
Not exactly a free agent.
Not exactly.
Yeah, hidden agent.
Hidden agent.
Hidden agent.
I like that.
So this is just when people, Lydia, you know, in the media, when people are bashing you, is it extra painful sometimes, the kind of people that are bashing you, or bashing be bashing?
Sometimes it's painful, the kind of people that bash you. I think with the people who don't know any better, you just look and you move. But when you think someone should know better, especially during 2016 elections, people who I thought were all on the same intellectual wavelength because of politics will seem to lose who they are. Yeah. That is extra painful. But you know what I do is, I don't read most of the time. I wait maybe 2 weeks when the thing has calm down. That's when I'm relaxed and I go through my profile. For that one, I'll give it back to you. Because you cannot try and make me have a bad night. We'll both have a bad night. That's the plan. We'll both, oh no, now also but you know, it comes with the territory.
Well, actually, it reminds me of something that Reverend Otabo said. Not God is good. I think he was taking a bashing, and he says the people that were insulting him, some of them look like insults.
Shady.
This was some time ago, you know.
Then please, as you mentioned Reverend Otabo, let me also give a shout out to my father, Reverend Dr. Matthias Forson, one of the most amazing men of God that I
know. He is. I remember a time, and our time is up, but I have to chip this in. You know, I remember a time where the critical information that I was putting on about Christianity was misinterpreted. And I was actually perceived as, believe it or not, Antichrist. Yeah. I got a call from a pastor who says, I've been listening to you. You make sense. I want to give you my pulpit. I said, you're what? And yes, and he invited me to the church. He was then the pastor of the Joel Methodist Church, and gave me his pulpit for me to explain what I've always been saying. And that was your father, man. Yeah.
So now you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, you know. Man, look, it's been great hanging out with you, two of you, man. It's absolutely lovely. Yeah. And Jacob, congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. And Lydia, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
God is good.
God is good.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.